Hi everyone, hope you're fine. Today we are looking at the Hercules DJ Control Impulse 500. So it's a brand new controller from Hercules. It it's a good news. It's a good piece because they upgrade their physical elements. You have some metal. You have good pads with good feeling when you touch them, etc. So it's a good surprise from Hercules. And the second good surprise is that they are collaborating with this product will work with Just, but with Serato DJ Lite and Serato DJ Pro 2. So for Just and Serato DJ Lite, it's free. You have just to download the software. You have just to plug it, install the driver, and you have to just to play. And for Serato DJ Pro, you will have to pay the upgrade to have all the new feature between Lite and Serato DJ Pro. But if you buy this product between the 11th of June and the 2nd of July, you can go directly on hercules.com/Serato to have the Serato DJ Pro upgrade for free. So it's a good news. Let's see what we have directly for the connections, and after we will see the rest. You have your headphone output, the two headphone output on the front, and on the back you will have Hercules port for add-on, etc. for services. You have your USB input output for the sound card, the communication. Auxiliary input in RCA and jack is pretty cool. We will see after in the video with a volume control and filter control. It's cool. A mic section, mic input, quarter jack. Your master output with SCR and jack, but unbalanced. Be careful, just unbalanced jack. And you can see with the video, but I will show you when you plug it to your computer. You can have some little feet here and some light here. It's pretty cool when you push and when you put your device like that. So first, we are going to see the navigation. For some parts of this video, I'm not going to show you a certain feature. Why? Because it's the same thing. For example, for the navigation part, the browse part, it's pretty the same between Just, Serato DJ Lite and Serato DJ Pro. You have a browse control, load 1, load 2, or load A, load B. You have to push on the browse button to go between playlists and tracks, etc. So it's pretty the same. You have the opportunity to plug a mic input, so it's the same. For the mixer part, you have the master, so it's the same. And what is a good thing, you can, if someone is asking you a request for a track, something like that, you don't have, you can plug his own telephone on. You saw that on the connection with his phone, for example, on SCA and jack 3.5, little one. And look, if you are putting some audio, you have little green orange color showing that you can have saturation or something like that. And it's pretty cool because you have also a filter like that. So it's a cool aux option if you need to have a track you don't have or something like that. So browse control. You can browse into your playlist if you want. If you push, you can browse directly on your track. And if you have your track, you can push directly load and you have your track directly on your player. After in your mixer part, you will have the gain control and EQ control. Gain control -12 to +12. You have EQ control. The difference between software is that you will have -24 for Juiced and Serato DJ Lite, and you will have a -infinite, all cut, all kill with frequencies with a Serato DJ Pro. So let's listen. You see, you have little feedback of the music. After, you will have 5 FX. The first one, filter, you don't need to push any button. You will have directly like that. After FX1, FX2, FX3, FX4, you will have, for the first one, a fade to gray. They call it like that. It's pretty cool when you want to go in one style of music to another style of music. This one and the reverb, you will see that it's very pretty cool with this software. You see? Second one is a flanger. So it's particularly very strong on the old track, but if you use it with little finesse here, you can make pretty good things. After, it's a gate, I think. It's pretty great with the tempo of the track. And the reverb, I really like this one. You see, you can go directly in a style of music to another style in the main part of the track like that. You see? It's very pretty good FX here. And it's okay though for the FX. After, you will have your PFL section, so you can listen to the deck A, channel 1, channel 2, the master. You have to push the button for the master if you want to listen in your headphone. Of course, you will have your little balance between the PFL here, the channel section, or on the right with the master section with the little volume here. The fader and crossfader, you can have a crossfade section allow you to adjust the curve, so you can have nothing or little volume control like that, or little cut like that. So it works great, and it's done for the mixer part. You have of course I said that, but the mic part and master part, you saw on the connections, master with jacks, output, quarter jack, and SEA. After, the deck part, so you will have certain functions with Juiced, with it's the main part is the same thing. The main part at 80%, you will have some loops, some slicer, some sampler, out cues. The main part is the same, but it will not at the same position with the button, etc. That's what we are going to see. together. So first, with Just, you will have hot cues, 8 hot cues, so you can record and erase hot cues like you want. Hot cues or little point. You can erase with shift button. After, they call it loop here, but I think it's because the unit works with 3 different software, so it can be loop or roll, etc. Here it's a roll. You see the bottom of the waveform going. So you make a little loop, but the track still play underneath. After the slicer, it's very excited, you can see on the screen, but you can change the value. Oh, let's see here. Etc. After the sampler part, I will show you the sampler. So with the sample, you can do a lot of things. You can choose to use the samples directly on the software. You can choose to use your own sampler. The software detects the BPM and straight like that match to the main track. For example, this one. I will check the sample directly on Just, and you can see that you have, for example, 16 sample, 8 sample, or 4 sample. But you have pages like that. You can see the first one, etc. You can quantize all samples with all these beats here. I will check one, and you can, of course, disengage the quantize function. So I will put with the start point here. And after you choose your sample, for example, this one. It's not the same music, you know, it's pretty awful, but it's just to show you that every time you will push at just on point, you will have your sample directly matched to the music. After, you will have different mode. The first one is like a pitch play, but you need to play the hot cue you want to play first. So for example, this one. And after, you choose the function. And you will have pitch play. And the mode 6. So mode 6 allow you to, how can I say, to play the other FX you have here on top, but you don't have access to the level. You just have access to the on and off. So basically you have this one. Let's play this. And of course it's post fader like those one. You see, when I make for example this one, and here it's the same. The blue button allow you to change the FX, so I'm not going to push them. After, you will have the second slicer. So you know, every slicer like Serato, you have the first one 8 bit, and the next 8 bit, and the next 8 bit. But the second one allow you to make a loop, 8-bit loop, and after you can play inside. You see? It's the same. So it's a slicer of And after the beat jump, so you will have -1 + 1 beat, -2 + 2, -4 + 4, and -8 + 8. I think it's better to show you with the other track, the example track, because I think it will be better with the you see, you can jump between two different parts of the track. After the vinyl or not vinyl for your jog, so you can have bending on the platter and on the color, and you can have scratch on the platter and bending on the color. After sleep mode, allow you to make some things directly on the music, but the music still play underneath. You see? The bottom of the waveform still play underneath. And quantize allow you to match all your loop or hot cues directly on the grid of the track. You see the grid, the white bar into the track. And for example, with Serato that we are going to see now, Serato with the light part will not have, for example, the sleep function or the contact function. It will be directly on Serato DJ Pro, and you will not have 8 hot cues, for example. You will have only 4, but you will have little functions just under. Let me take my track, this one. So first difference between Juice and Serato DJ Elite. For the mixer part, you will see the 3 FX. You will have those FX here. I don't know if you can choose it directly like that. No, you have to choose with your trackpad. So, first FX, post faders, it's pretty the same. And you can choose the tempo with the FX4 button. You see? 1 beat, 2 beat, half beat. So first things. After, like I said, you will have only 4 hot cues, but you have little functions directly here. You have back forward and forth forward. Well, this can be fun with something like that. For example, you will have the real reverse. So you have to double tap if you want to disengage it, and you will have a real slip reverse. And the music still play underneath. After you will have the loop section. Of course you have your auto loop here, like Juice. You can choose your loop. You can choose to put in and out or something like that. You have 4 bit loop if you push in. It's the same than Juice. After here you can choose to make in, out. You can active it or not. You see, active or not, and you can choose to recall it like that. and you will have your same thing, you see, reverse, etc. So like I said in Juice, in the Juice part, the name on each button, it's not the same function between software. So when you see Slicer, it could be Slicer on Serato DJ Pro, but in Serato DJ Elite, it will be an auto loop. Look here. So you will have 1 bit, 2 bit, 4 or 8. And after sampler. Let me show the sampler here. So you can put every sample you want. There is little difference with Serato DJ Pro because with Serato we will see, but you can choose if you want to push or and it will play the sample, or push and you have to push every time you want to play the sample. You can put a sample in a loop, etc. So there is little difference like that, but you can put your own sample here. And there is not mode 5, mode 6, mode 7, etc. There is no sleep mode, no quantize for Serato DJ Lite. You see on the, when I push it, they tell me in French that I have to go to Serato DJ Pro. So let's see. So with Serato DJ Pro, you will have the browse control. It's the same, it's pretty the same. So let's push my track here, and okay, I have my 2 odd cues. So you will have the loop control, like I said, but the difference is that in Serato DJ Elite you will have 1 to 8 bit, and here you have 132 to 32 bit, so it's pretty large. So it works the same thing. You push on it, you can have in, out, you can have 4-bit loop like that with the long push on in. Of course you will have the same function here. So you will have vinyl control like Serato DJ Lite. You will have your sleep and quantize with Serato DJ Pro, so you can just make some odd cues on some pause, for example. Or maybe make an odd cue. Etc, etc. Your quantize to be on time with the grid of the track. Oh, where is my grid? Where is my grid? Let's see why my track don't have grid. Oh yeah, okay. Because if you don't have grid, you will not have like slicer or something like that. So be sure you have the grid of the track. You have sync like Juice, so everything is pretty the same. The FX are pretty the same too. You will have the beat, you can change the beat here, you see. And if I want to change the beat like that, etc. So it's pretty the same. And after, the difference will be on the pad. So you will have 8 odd cues. You will have all the functions of Serato. So you can choose your odd cue like that. After, you will have the loop. So it's the good name on the button. So you can make input and output. you can disengage the active loop and you can recall it like that. Of course, you can choose to record it on a slot if you want. You see, you can move slot by slot like that, and you can of course erase your loop. After the slicer mode, let's see with more. You can move the parameter, the length of this little loop with shift in and out here, you see, etc, etc. After the sampler, let's see the sample part. You see, like I said, you can choose to have the loop mode or play mode like that, or with loop, etc, etc. Yeah, for this kind of sample I prefer when I push, so you can make directly on the music. Etc, etc. After mode 5, so the mode 5 is a key shift, so you have to push shift and choose what the hot cue you want to what can I say in English? You want to choose to make your key. If you want to choose this hot cue, oops. But you can choose this hot cue if you want. So you see what I mean. After the mode 6, it's a roll. Oh, let's see here. Mode 7, it's an auto loop. So the main difference is that the roll, you have to push and stay on the button. And auto loop, you push once and you have your auto loop. So here it's a 8-bit loop, 4-bit loop, 2-bit loop, etc. And mode 8, it's cool because mode 8, it's a MIDI learn, it's a user interface. So you can, maybe you see I took the master tempo here, the key lock, but I can easily, with the MIDI function, allow me to, I don't know, for example, the play. Imagine I don't have play button. So I push play here, I push here, and make it happen. Oh, no. So it's play button, but I have the choice to make 7 others manipulation, and of course with this pad mode 8, 8 here too. So I can have 16 user thing if I want to make a play. All the functions you don't have directly on board when you take your controller directly from this package. So it was the Digital Control Impulse 500 from Hercules. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to ask me under this video or by mail if you want. And see you next content, guys. Bye bye. Take care.